Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Alex, and I'm a DevOps engineer here in Bincom Dev Center. Actually, we've treated this topic before, but we can't overemphasize the usefulness or the importance of security in our day-to-day operations. So today we'll be looking at phishing awareness. As you can see from the image over here, we can see someone actually um, trying to harass let's just say an office personnel. This office personnel could be anybody. Could be a system administrator, it could be an accountant, it could be a project manager, a human resource person, a digital marketer, it could be anybody. And what this is trying to say is that there's someone actually trying to gain unauthorized access to that particular resource. And in that wise, of course, harming that person or that organization. So there are a lot of resources which are being kept in the cloud, in servers. There are a lot of resources that we even put in as small as our Google, let's just say our Gmail. Because some of us, what we do is that, okay, fine, since I'm not able to have a big server that I'll be able to store information, or I don't have maybe I don't have good knowledge on its operations and management. So why don't I just have something as small as a Google Drive or a OneDrive? So yes, those can actually serve as a server for you, being the fact that you can actually store information in them. So just look at it. One day you go into that particular server or your OneDrive, and then you find out that some of your files are corrupted, not because you actually stored corrupted files, but because someone actually gained authorized access, and then in that wise corrupted some of those files, does not want you to have access to them. Or just look at it, you go into um, a particular resource and you find out that it is not even there at all. Maybe somebody has deleted it. So these are the type of things that we should be conscious about. And of course, there are different ways of cyber crimes. We have social engineering, we have phishing to be one of them. We have a whole lot, Trojan horse. But today we'll be speaking about phishing. So what is phishing? So phishing attacks are the practice of sending fraudulent communications that appear to come from a reputable source. So just imagine that you have a message coming from UNICEF, and then by the time you start reading the messages, one, you find out that the grammatical construct is not well written. You find out that UNICEF is blue, that's for the logo, but this time you are seeing it to be yellow. You know, you are seeing a lot of things that are wrong. However, they are posing themselves to be UNICEF. So that is actually a phishing attack, because they are trying to get information from you, or they are trying to even gain access directly to your resource, so that, of course, they can have charge of it. But they are coming through a particular means. They are not this time asking you questions. Okay, what is your name? What is your PIN number? What is your this? No, they are not coming in this wise. Rather, what they are using is that they will just send you a message to come from someone you know. So the goal is to steal sensitive data like credit cards, login information, or install malware on the victim's machine. So there are sometimes we work on websites and we find out that they've actually been corrupted. Even is one of the things I do, is one of my KPIs now to also look into removal of malwares. And what we've come to notice is that when you build a site, you've put it out there for people to see, for people to use, you find out that there are still some other people who will put mails, just like all these funny ads that we see on our PCs. You see an ad and the ad is posing to be Central Bank, or you see an ad, it poses to be Zenith Bank. So those people that actually have accounts with Zenith Bank will be like, okay, fine, this ad is for me, let me click it. And this is actually happening through your site. So in all these ways, of course, they gain entrance into the site. Another way that they can actually go through it, though it might not be in phishing, is that they will break into that website and steal the user's login details. Actually, in Kali Linux, when you do penetration testing is what ethical hackers must know. Because in that way, they are able to, there's something that is called brute force. They are able to force their way into that site, and then they are able to get sensitive details. So all of these are actually fraudulent attacks. All these are attacks that, of course, are not desirable. Just look at it. You have an organization, and the organization is not well protected. Of course, you won't want to do any business with that organization. So the goal is actually to steal sensitive data like credit card, login information, or install malware on the victim's machine. Phishing is a common type of cyber attack that everyone should learn about in order to protect themselves. Because, of course, every day we actually see this phishing, we see these phishing sites. Now, what is phishing? Phishing attacks are counterfeit communications that appear to come from a trustworthy source, but which can compromise all types of data sources. Attacks can facilitate access to your online accounts or personal data, obtain permissions to modify and compromise connected, such as point of sale systems, terminals, processing systems, and so on. Now, what this is trying to say, I've already explained earlier, is somebody, of course, having to, the word here says counterfeit, meaning trying to pose to be someone that you know and is not. And of course, the main goal is to steal, is to gain unauthorized access, is to gain personal information such as credit cards and all that. And as you can see from the diagram here, or should I call it a picture, somebody is somewhere and then is sending a message. Now he has broken through the defense. This yellow logo you can find is actually a security logo. And they've broken into it. And you can see this lock over here. They've also broken it. Why? Because one way or the other, they've gotten the information they need in order for them to go into that resource and do whatever they want to do. And of course, the effect is always catastrophic to that organization. So how does phishing work? Phishing starts with a fraudulent email or other communication designed to lure a victim. Sometimes you are working on your PC and you just see federal government is giving a grant of 500,000 to so and so. I can't really remember this organization again that the federal government also created for unemployed youths who will learn a trade and all that, rather learn a skill, and then they are able to, they're able to gain some money. I think every month, some stipend. Now they will come in these guises. They will say, okay, fine, this is what we will do for you. This is what, or come and register with us. We will do this and this and this and that and that. That is the way they work. Everything is just to gather information, because while you are doing those registration, you are giving sensitive information. And even some, I can't really remember, there are some that actually we ask for BVN. And on your normal ground, it's just like working on your bank app. At some points, you must give your BVN details, even we are working with your main bank app. But the problem now comes in when you are not actually doing it on the main site of the bank. I actually have had a personal experience a long time ago a cryptocurrency site. Thank God that I was trying to test out some strategies, and then I put in just $15 in that crypto site. Now, or should I say in that wallet, not the site, but the wallet. Now, I wanted to have access to it. I found out that I was putting in my password, but it was not logging in. At that point, I knew something was wrong. So what did I do? I saw the customer care session. I wrote to them. They told me, okay, fine, click on this link, do this, which I did. Now, yes, I was able to have entrance to my wallet. I did whatever I wanted to do. I closed up. In the next 2 hours, I found out that all the funds was gone. Now, what was that tactic? The tactic was that they had already put a fraudulent website on Google, also taking the same URL of that particular website. So when I saw the URL, well, it's the URL, let me log into it. I logged into it. But what I should have known was that when you hover on all these sites, when you maybe on Google and all that, you will see a link. So I did not know that it was having, yes, the same name and all that, but there was a slight difference between the original one and the fake one. There was a slight difference in the URL. So what they just made me to do is that, of course, because I don't have an account with them before, this is a fake site. I don't have an account with them. So I will be forced that when I do not have, when I can't log in, I will be forced to talk to the customer care. And of course, who is the customer care? Is the hacker, who also told me, okay, go to this particular site to do whatever you want to do. Then I entered another phishing site, where, of course, I gave my details and all that, and then they're able to get whatever they needed. I had to go into my main wallet because right now they have my full details. So they entered my main wallet, took everything. So that is how all this works. It's an organized crime. And that is why we must, it cannot be overemphasized. I can't say, okay, fine, because I know what is phishing, then I just, nothing is new. There are new ways of actually doing it every time. If this one is not working anymore, they will find another way. I will actually give on, maybe before the end, I will actually give another one that is very common in our time. But let's continue. So cyber criminals start by identifying a group of individuals they want to target. Remember I said earlier, one puts Zenith ad. Why is he putting Zenith ad? Because he knows that a lot of Nigerians actually use Zenith. So if it does not even appeal to somebody that is using GT, there's one person that will surely use the Zenith and will click on it. So they are always targeting a particular set of people that use that particular product or service that they are trying to portray. Then they create email and text messages that appear to be legitimate, but actually contain dangerous links, attachments, or lures that tricks their target into taking an unknown risky action. I've given you an example of what happened. So in brief, point one, phishers frequently use emotions like fear, curiosity, urgency, and greed to compel recipients to open attachments or click on links. Now, let me emphasize on emotions like fear, curiosity, and urgency, even greed. Greed is that one of, let's just say, CBN giving 500,000. For God's sake, you can't, how will CBN give 500,000 when you've not done anything? Even those that are even SMEs are not even finding it, they're not finding that kind of money to even borrow, not to talk of you doing nothing and then they want to give you 500,000 like that. Please, let me know if it's 9:30 so I can stop. So
10 minutes more.
10 minutes more, okay, thank you very much. So For the part of fierce curiosity, I will give an example, also live. A cousin of mine opened an account. I think it was a GT account. And then he went to school, he was called. In that place, he got a phone call. I am so and so from GT account. I just rather from GT Bank. You just opened a savings account. This, that, this. He said, yes, it is true. Now, for the fact that the person had come, one, as GT, number two, giving a name, and number three, even told him that he just opened an account, he believed. So later, to cut the long story short, he said, okay, send 10,000 naira to that same account so that we can do whatever maintenance they want to do or whatever they want to do. And then they said, of course, you should provide some personal details, which he did. He believed he was talking to the bank. So at the end of the day, he funded the account with 10,000 naira, and then he gave everything needed. And in less than no time, he found out that it was debited. So why did he fall into this trap? Because of fear. I don't want anything to happen to my account. And who is actually putting this fear? It is these cyber criminals, because that is the only way they can get what they need. Sometimes it's through emotions. Why are they putting up all these fake ads? It's because they are trying to psychologically, manipulate their targets to believe what they should not believe, and also to take wrong decisions. So point 2, phishing attacks are designed to appear to come from legitimate companies and individuals. Yes, we've talked about that. Point 3, cyber criminals are continuously innovating and becoming more and more sophisticated. And that is what they are right now. They are becoming better. Today, they crack Facebook. Tomorrow, Facebook is back on, of course, updating their firewalls and all that. The security is tight. Before you know it, some set of people again break into it again, and it becomes more and more and more and more. But thank God it's now at least more stable than the way it used to be. So there are many ways in which they improve their skills, because that is where they actually get their money. And of course, some cyber criminals do not do what they do because of the money. Some of them is just because of the fame. Yes, I was able to crack into the military base of, let's just say, of California. Yes, I was able to hack into NASA. I was able to hack into this place and that place. Some of them is just that pride. Some of them, they won't even take any resource. They won't even have access to any money. Not that they won't have access, they will have access, but they won't do anything. All what they'll just do is just to drop a message and say, I was here. I was here alone. Is enough to spell chaos in that organization. Like, how did somebody get into this place? So these are the ways cyber criminals actually work, and we should not fall victim to them. So we have dangers of phishing, but I will not go into that. Maybe some other time we'll continue. I don't wish for us to dwell long in this case. So maybe later we can continue. So this is where I'll be stopping. If there are any questions, you can ask. And if there's none, I can ask questions.
All right, thank you very much, sir.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yeah. If we have any questions, please let's ask now. Do we have any questions? Let's signify by unmuting ourselves and asking the question. Okay, let me ask my own question actually. So okay. Is there a lot about especially these KD sessions about cybersecurity, cyber crimes, and all these things about all these security systems and all. So I just want to maybe just to pinpoint and to clarify as well. Is there like a when we talk about security systems, I definitely don't think there is a perfect way of getting totally free from it. In the sense that let's even talk about accidents in a normal layman language. It is possible for you to be in your room and still get bashed by a car because you don't know what might have happened out there that will make the car to come and meet somebody that is sleeping in his room. So it is not like total. Maybe someone is 100% free from such things, but I believe there are things you can do to reduce the risk of being a victim of all these cyber attacks and all. So is that like a foolproof way to just make sure you are not a victim, or everybody is prone to being attacked? I don't know if you get my question.
Is there a what?
Is there a foolproof way to not getting attacked?
Okay. Okay. So thank you very much for that question. Yeah, there are ways in which you should not get attacked. There are ways. Let me just mention 3. Number 1 is do not give sensitive information to just anyone. Always scrutinize whatever sites you are entering. That's the first thing, because a cyber criminal will not just have access to your resources from the blues. It must come through a weak link. And if it's an organization, make sure that you train all your personnel. Train all your personnel to be security conscious. Teach them what to do and what not to do, what to avoid, and when to escalate whenever they find something off. That's the first thing. Do not just give sensitive information out. The second thing is this. For our normal PC, our local machines, always update your antivirus. It's just like those that work with WordPress. It is always said that, okay, in fact, that's even part of it. But let me still take it as an example. It's just like those that work with WordPress. One of the reasons why WordPress sites are attacked is because some plugins are outdated. Some people will have as many as 15 plugins, 20 plugins that they are not using. And then at the end of the day, because they are not using it, they forget to update it. So because of this loophole, of course, cyber criminals come in and then they take advantage of that hole in the website. So the same thing with your local machine. If you do not update it, if you do not update your antivirus, you say, okay, fine, because I had McAfee at some time, the McAfee will still be working maybe in the next 10 years. Sorry, it won't work. You will just be seeing the logo, but the truth is that it is not working. It is not doing what it should do. And that is why even Microsoft, I don't know about Google, but I know for Microsoft, by the time you are entering some site, they will tell you this particular site has some malware, or it has been reported to be a phishing site or whatever. They will give an alert. So it will be at owner's risk. If you say, okay, fine, I want to still go in or not. I think something like that happened, was it not yesterday? I think it was yesterday, when Elijah was presenting, and then he wanted to enter the application, the web application. And I said something, I said, they actually gave a message, and under it, they said, but can you see continue? And I said, yes, you can press continue, but it is at owner's risk. So even if anything happens, the truth is that it is not Microsoft that should be held accountable to it. So in a nutshell, what am I saying? Update your antivirus, not just your antivirus, but even your operating system. You are using a Windows machine, it tells you update me, please update it, because if you do not update it, it's as good as saying you are not also updating the security features, because Windows also comes with its own antivirus, which is I think is the Windows security. So important to do that. Then number three, I've mentioned do not just give out sensitive information. Secondly is update your software, that is your antivirus, and even your operating system. Then the third one is this. Let me speak in terms of emails this time. When you get a mail, do the diligence of checking the email, the address where that mail is coming from. Anybody can say, I am Alex Michael. But the truth is that my email is my identity, not even the Michael Alex, because it's just a name. It is not Alex Michael that is sending that message. It is actually that address that is sending the message. So if somebody is posing that I am calling from UNICEF, or rather I'm sending a mail from UNICEF, and when you check the email, you are now seeing Adetunde, or rather Adekunle at gmail.com, then you should know this is a phishing mail, because nobody from UNICEF will be sending a message, an official mail, and to be carrying at gmail.com or at yahoo.com. It's not possible. So these are primary ways in which you can prevent phishing in your local space, maybe in your local machine, or even in your server. Then in a bigger, let me just talk about in a bigger setting. I've talked about in your personal computer. In a bigger setting, there are security, there are security softwares, or should I say there are security tools, that's the word. There are security tools that actually helps in managing your infrastructure. One of it is OSWAP. Another one is even Cisco has its own security tools. We have another one as OPSWAT. So there are different tools that you can actually learn in order for you to secure infrastructure, especially servers, databases, and all that.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you for the clarification.
Okay, you're welcome.
Yes. Do we have any other questions? So if we don't have any question, then